And let's get to the business news now with Nona Peltier. Nona, we've got another consumer confidence survey. What is this one telling us?
Okay, so this is a monthly one, and it's the ANZ Roy Morgan Consumer Confidence Survey. So we do it every month, and this one is pretty upbeat. Now, it's still not quite back to normal levels of happiness, but look, every indicator was improved over the month before. And, you know, it included things like, for example, would you go out and shop for a major appliance? And people were definitely in the mood to go shopping for a major appliance, which is a very strong indication of how people feel about their own financial position. But the outlook was positive for everything, even where it came to housing prices. So even though we've had a number of stories and reports about how the housing market is expected to decline by as much as 10% this year, most people still believe that, you know, things are going to improve there. So overall, a much more buoyant confidence survey. That's a very strong indication for spending, and that really flows through into the economy. We're not out of the woods yet, but it's a very positive sign.
And you were telling me that the wine industry has had a really good harvest. So
yeah,
what does that mean in the scheme of things?
Now, interesting. So I've been talking to the wine industry for a while now about different aspects. So yesterday we had a report from Delegate Wine, their exporters. They lifted their guidance because they expect to do well with the sale of their premium wines into key export markets.
Why is this? Because everybody's at home in forced isolation at various points.
Hey, look, I tell you what.
And it's a treat.
New Zealand wines are not cheap when you go and buy them overseas, that's for sure. But never mind, they were expecting that despite a downturn in the supposed downturn in the number of people going out to bars and restaurants in key markets in the United States and the UK, they weren't too worried. And today I spoke to the exporters, the New Zealand wine growers industry, about their harvest. So they've had a pretty good harvest this year. Now, the numbers are about the same as they were the year earlier. In fact, it was kind of a smaller harvest, but it was over a wider growing area. So they still ended up with about the same as they did the year earlier. But they say the vintage will be exceptional, which will help New Zealand an awful lot because despite what Delegate says, the wine exporters are still expecting tough times ahead, but not so much as the domestic producers. So not so much domestic producers. I mean, wine producers that have those small boutiques and then sell into our own market. They really rely heavily on international visitors knocking on their cellar door and having a taste and buying some wine to take home. They don't have that market at the moment, so they're really hoping that New Zealanders, with their love of wine, turn up at the cellar door, have a bit of a try of the new vintage as it comes available and or the ones that are already there and help the industry out. They have packages and all sorts. So yeah, that's an industry really trying hard to survive these hard times, that's for sure.
And so what did the market numbers look like today?
You missed something.
Oh, what?
Yesterday we talked about precious metals. Do you remember?
Oh, yes. Have you got an answer for me, Nona?
I went and I knocked on the door of the statistics department, and they tell me the value in precious metals is what really drove up that increase, that 94% increase in the value of imports. So guess what it was? Gold bars. Yeah, an increase of 18 million over the year or earlier. And the quantity was up like 1,000%. So a lot of people are liking their gold. I don't know what they're doing with it. I don't think it'd be very comfortable under the mattress. What do you think?
No, but it's interesting, isn't it? Given unsure economic times, are we thinking that people like gold as a tangible, sure thing?
I suppose that would be true. And the price, believe it or not, was steady today at $1,759.81 US cents an ounce.
Thank you for solving that mystery, Nona.
I don't mind at all.
And the market numbers.
Yes, indeed. Well, I can honestly say that the market rose a handful of points today. That's right, 5 points. That's still better than down, right?
I see what you did there.
Yeah, 11,129. Now, that compares with the ASX 200, which was up 1.5% at the same time. So anyway, never mind. Our dollar is little changed also at 64.4 US cents, 93.5 cents Australian, and 51.8 British pence.
Thanks, Nona. That's Nona Peltier with our business news, and she solved the mystery of why we had such an increase in precious metals coming into the country.